The 1980 Liberty $quarter coin begins like a quiet whisper from the past, a coin that once moved through ordinary hands in everyday transactions across the United States. At first glance, it may look like just another 25-cent piece, but collectors and treasure hunters know that some coins carry secrets far beyond their small size. Hidden among millions of ordinary pieces, a rare and exceptional 1980 Liberty quarter has the potential to shock the world of collectors. For someone who unknowingly holds one of these extraordinary coins, it can feel like holding a tiny piece of history that could transform an ordinary life overnight. The design of the 1980 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the front, a symbol of leadership and the first president of the nation. This famous design comes from the long-running Washington Quarter series, a coin style that has been part of American currency since 1932. On the reverse side, a proud eagle spreads its wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing both strength and peace. Every detail of the coin was created with precision, making even a common example a beautiful piece of American minting history. In 1980, these quarters were struck at different mint facilities, including United States Mint locations in Philadelphia Mint and San Francisco Mint. Coins from Philadelphia usually carried no mint mark, while proof versions from San Francisco often feature the small s mint mark. Each mint produced coins with careful craftsmanship, but sometimes a small variation, minting mistake, or unusually perfect condition can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary rarity worth thousands or even more. What makes a 1980 Liberty quarter truly valuable is not simply its age, but its rarity and condition. A coin that has survived decades without scratches fading or heavy circulation can reach astonishing values among collectors. When a coin appears almost untouched, with bright luster and sharp details, collectors call it a near-perfect specimen. In rare circumstances, such coins have become the crown jewel of a collector's cabinet, driving intense competition and pushing the price far beyond what most people imagine a quarter could ever be worth. Sometimes the real magic lies in minting errors. During the coin-making process, even the smallest mechanical misalignment can create unusual features such as double letters, off-center strikes, or missing design elements. These unexpected mistakes make the coin unique, almost like a fingerprint that exists nowhere else. When collectors discover such an error on a 1980 Liberty quarter, the excitement spreads quickly through the numismatic community because these rare pieces can command astonishing prices. Another factor that fuels the value of these quarters is the passion of coin collectors themselves. Around the world, thousands of enthusiasts spend years searching through coin rolls, old collections, and forgotten jars, hoping to uncover a hidden gem. The thrill of discovery is what drives the market. A rare 1980 Liberty quarter, found in exceptional condition, could spark bidding wars at auctions, pushing its value far higher than its original 25-cent face value. The metal composition of the 1980 quarter also adds to its story. While most circulating quarters of that era were made from a copper-nickel-clad mixture, collectors often refer to them as silver-style coins because of their bright appearance and connection to earlier silver quarters. This shiny metallic look gives the coin a timeless beauty, making it feel more valuable than its small denomination might suggest. When preserved carefully, the coin's luster can remain almost as brilliant as the day it left the mint. Over time, certain high-grade examples of the 1980 Liberty quarter have captured the attention of collectors and investors. When a coin reaches extremely high grading levels, sometimes described as mint state perfection, its rarity increases dramatically. Coins graded at the highest levels are extremely scarce because most coins from circulation have already been worn down by decades of use. That scarcity is what pushes the value upward in the collector's marketplace. Imagine opening an old coin jar or inherited collection and spotting a bright 1980 quarter that looks almost untouched. At that moment, curiosity begins to grow. Could this ordinary-looking coin actually be something special? Many people around the world have experienced that moment of discovery, realizing that the smallest objects can sometimes carry unexpected value and history hidden within their metal surfaces. Professional grading and authentication can reveal the true potential of such a coin. Experts carefully examine every detail, from the sharpness of the design to the presence of mint marks or rare varieties. Once officially graded and certified, the coin becomes part of the global collector's market. A rare specimen with exceptional quality may attract attention from serious collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary prices for the privilege of owning it. Stories of valuable coins often travel quickly, inspiring thousands of people to check their own change. While not every 1980 Liberty quarter will be worth a fortune, the possibility alone keeps the excitement alive. Every coin carries a small piece of history, and sometimes that history becomes far more valuable than anyone expected when the coin was first minted decades ago. The fascinating thing about coin collecting is that value can rise dramatically over time. What once seemed like an ordinary pocket coin can become a prized collectible as years pass and fewer pristine examples remain. As collectors search for the best surviving specimens, the demand for high-quality coins continues to grow, turning small pieces of metal into significant treasures. For someone who unknowingly possesses a rare 1980 Liberty quarter, patience can be incredibly important. Selling a coin without understanding its rarity might mean losing out on a much greater reward. Collectors often advise researching the coin carefully, examining its details, and seeking expert opinions before making any decision. A simple quarter could potentially surprise its owner with a value far beyond expectations. In the end, the 1980 Liberty $quarter coin stands as a reminder that hidden treasures can exist in the most ordinary places. A coin once used by a simple item decades ago could now represent history, craftsmanship, and collector passion all at once. Whether with a few cents or a remarkable fortune, the story of this small coin continues to inspire curiosity, proving that sometimes the smallest objects hold the most fascinating secrets. The story of the 1987 Liberty $quarter begins with a simple coin that most people once treated as ordinary pocket change. Yet within the fascinating world of coin collecting, even a humble 25-cent piece can become a treasure worth far more than its face value. The quarter, carrying the graceful image of George Washington on the front, represents a powerful symbol of American history, freedom, and legacy. While millions were minted in 1987, a few rare examples have captured the attention of collectors around the world because of their exceptional condition, unusual minting characteristics, and historical importance. In 1987, the United States continued producing the famous Washington Quarter series that first appeared in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. These coins were struck by the historic United States Mint, an institution responsible for producing American currency for more than 2 centuries. The 1987 quarters were minted primarily at 2 major facilities, Philadelphia Mint and San Francisco Mint. Coins from Philadelphia usually carry the P Mint mark, while San Francisco coins are often proof versions marked with an S. At first glance, the 1987 quarter may appear like any other coin. The obverse shows a powerful portrait of George Washington with the word Liberty boldly engraved above his head, representing the ideals upon which the United States was built. The reverse design features a proud eagle spreading its wings, clutching arrows and olive branches as symbols of strength and peace. This classic design became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage history. What makes certain 1987 quarters truly extraordinary is not their everyday appearance, but their rarity in pristine condition. In the world of numismatics, coins that remain untouched, perfectly preserved, and graded at the highest levels can become incredibly valuable. Collectors search tirelessly for examples that look almost exactly as they did the moment they left the presses of the United States Mint. When such a coin surfaces, it can create excitement across the collector community. Another factor that increases the value of some 1987 quarters is the presence of minting errors. During the production process, slight mechanical mistakes can create unusual details, double strikes, off-center designs, or other rare imperfections. Ironically, these mistakes can transform an ordinary coin into a legendary collectible. A rare error on a 1987 quarter could dramatically increase its desirability among passionate collectors who constantly hunt for unique pieces. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also highly sought after. Proof coins are specially struck using polished dies and carefully prepared planchets, giving them a mirror-like surface and extremely sharp details. These coins were never intended for everyday circulation and were usually sold in collector sets. Because of their limited production and stunning appearance, the finest examples can command impressive prices. While most 1987 quarters are still worth their original face value, a small number preserved in perfect condition have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in specialized auctions. Professional grading services carefully examine each coin under magnification, assigning a grade that determines its value. Coins graded near perfection often become the stars of auction catalogs and collector showcases. The excitement surrounding these coins comes from the thrilling idea that a simple object once used to buy a snack or ride a bus could one day become a collector's prize. Many people unknowingly store old coins in jars, drawers, or piggy banks without realizing that one of them could hold hidden value. For collectors, searching through these forgotten coins feels like a modern treasure hunt. The 1987 quarter also holds a special place in American coin history because it was part of a transitional era before the introduction of new commemorative designs in later decades. At that time, the classic Washington design had already become a familiar symbol of everyday American life, appearing in millions of wallets and cash registers across the country. Collectors often examine tiny details on these coins: the sharpness of Washington's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and the brilliance of the metal surface. Even the smallest difference can determine whether a coin is considered ordinary or exceptionally valuable. This intense attention to detail is what makes coin collecting such a fascinating and rewarding hobby. Stories sometimes circulate claiming that certain rare coins can make someone instantly rich overnight. While these stories capture the imagination, the real value of a coin depends on rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand among collectors. Genuine high-grade examples of the 1987 quarter are valuable because of their scarcity in perfect condition, not simply because of the year printed on the coin. Nevertheless, the possibility of discovering a rare piece continues to inspire collectors around the world. Every time someone checks an old coin jar or examines pocket change, there's a small thrill of curiosity. Could this be the coin that collectors dream about? That sense of mystery is part of what keeps the hobby alive. The legacy of the 1987 Liberty Quarter reminds us that even everyday objects can carry hidden stories and unexpected value. A coin once worth only 25 cents might one day become a cherished collectible, admired for its beauty and history. Whether found in an old collection or passed down through generations, these coins represent a connection between the past and the present. So, if you ever come across a 1987 quarter, take a closer look before spending it casually. Examine its mint mark, condition, and details carefully. While most will remain ordinary currency, a rare and perfectly preserved example could surprise you with a value far beyond its small denomination. In the captivating world of coin collecting, sometimes the smallest treasures hold the biggest stories. Money bag sparkles. The story of the 1967 Washington quarter begins in a fascinating moment of American coin history. During the late 1960s, the United States was facing a major coin shortage, and the government made unusual decisions about how coins were produced. The 1967 Liberty-style quarter-dollar coin carries the proud image of George Washington, a symbol of freedom, strength, and American heritage. To many people, it looks like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but collectors know that certain rare examples from this year can be extremely valuable. Hidden among millions of ordinary pieces could be a rare specimen capable of turning a simple pocket find into a life-changing discovery. What makes the 1967 quarter so mysterious is the fact that, unlike many other years, the coins are produced without visible mint marks. Normally, collectors look for marks such as P, D, or S to identify where a coin was made. But during this period, the United States Mint temporarily removed mint marks to discourage collectors from hoarding coins. Because of this, every 1967 quarter appears similar at first glance. Yet behind this simple design hides a world of rare varieties, special strikes, and unusual errors that can make certain coins incredibly desirable. The design itself is classic and instantly recognizable. On the front, the dignified portrait of George Washington faces left, representing leadership and independence. The word Liberty shines above his head, while the date 1967 rests below. On the reverse side, a majestic eagle spreads its wings above a bundle of arrows and olive branches, a symbol of power balanced with peace. This iconic design was created by the talented sculptor John Flanagan, whose work defined the look of the quarter for decades. Most 1967 quarters were struck using a copper-nickel-clad composition, rather than traditional silver. Just a couple years earlier, the United States ended regular silver coin production because the metal had become too expensive. However, a few special pieces and transitional examples related to the earlier silver era are rumored among collectors, and coins with unusual metallic composition or striking errors instantly become the center of attention in the numismatic world. Collectors often search for coins from special production known as special mint sets. These sets were created instead of traditional proof coins during the mid-1960s, and they were produced with extra care. A pristine 1967 quarter from a special mint set can have an almost mirror-like shine and incredibly sharp details. When preserved in perfect condition, these coins can command astonishing prices in auctions, sometimes reaching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their grade. But the real excitement comes from rare minting errors. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center, or one with a dramatic doubled image, where the design appears to be stamped twice. Some 1967 quarters also show die cracks, clipped edges, or unusual surfaces caused by mistakes during the minting process. While these imperfections might sound like flaws, in the world of collectors they can transform a simple coin into a prized treasure. Condition is another powerful factor that determines value. A coin that has spent decades in circulation may look worn and dull, but a perfectly preserved 1967 quarter can shine like it was minted yesterday. Professional grading services examine the tiniest details, from the sharpness of Washington's hair to the brilliance of the metal surface. Coins that receive the highest grades become elite collectibles sought after by passionate buyers around the world. Some collectors tell remarkable stories about rare quarters discovered in old jars, forgotten drawers, or inherited coin collections. A simple coin passed down through generations might quietly hold enormous value without anyone realizing it. That is why enthusiasts carefully inspect every 1967 quarter they find, hoping to uncover a hidden gem that could transform a small piece of change into a legendary collectible. The fascination with this coin is also tied to the dramatic era in which it was minted. The year 1967 was a time of cultural change, technological advancement, and shifting economic realities in the United States. Coins from that period reflect the challenges of the time, including the transition away from silver and the government's effort to stabilize the nation's coin supply. Because mint marks were removed during those years, identifying rare variations requires sharp eyes and deep knowledge. Experts study subtle differences in strike quality, die patterns, and surface textures. Sometimes the smallest detail, barely visible to the naked eye, can mean the difference between a common coin and a highly valuable rarity. When rare versions of the 1967 quarter appear in major auctions, the excitement among collectors becomes intense. Bidders compete fiercely for coins with exceptional grades or dramatic mint errors. In the most remarkable cases, prices can soar far beyond the face value of 25 cents, proving that even an ordinary coin can carry extraordinary potential. The world of coin collecting thrives on the thrill of discovery. Every time someone checks their pocket change or opens an old coin box, there's a tiny spark of possibility. Could that simple quarter be one of the rare pieces that collectors dream about? Could it be the coin that turns curiosity into fortune? For this reason, experts often advise people never dismiss old coins too quickly. A 1967 quarter may appear ordinary, but if it has unusual features or exceptional preservation, it might be far more valuable than expected. Careful examination and professional evaluation can reveal secrets hidden in plain sight. In the end, the legend of the 1967 Washington quarter reminds us that treasure does not always come in the form of gold bars or diamonds. Sometimes it hides in the smallest everyday objects, waiting for someone curious enough to notice. A single coin, overlooked by millions, might hold a story of rarity, history, and unexpected fortune. Proof that even a humble quarter can capture the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. Moneybag sparkles. The story of a 1973 Liberty $quarter coin from the United States is one that excites collectors and treasure hunters all around the world. At first glance, This small 25-cent coin may look ordinary, something you might find forgotten in an old jar or hidden deep inside a dusty drawer. But for experienced collectors, the 1973 quarter carries a mysterious charm and the thrilling possibility that a simple coin could hold an astonishing value. Many people do not realize that certain rare examples of this coin can attract serious attention in the collector's market. The coin belongs to the famous Washington Quarter series, which features a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design shows Washington facing left on the front of the coin, while the reverse displays a powerful eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches. This iconic design symbolizes strength, peace, and the enduring spirit of America, making the quarter not only a piece of currency, but also a small work of art. In 1973, these quarters were struck at different facilities of the United States Mint. The most common mint marks you may find on these coins are P for Philadelphia Mint and S for San Francisco Mint. Each mint produced coins with slight differences in quality, finish, and rarity. While millions were made, only a tiny number survived in extraordinary condition or with unusual minting characteristics that make them extremely desirable among collectors. What truly transforms an ordinary 1973 quarter into an extraordinary treasure is the presence of rare minting errors or exceptional preservation. Some collectors search for coins with unusual die varieties, double designs, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. When such rare features appear on a 1973 quarter, the value can rise dramatically because collectors are willing to compete fiercely to own a piece of minting history. Another factor that can push the value of a 1973 quarter into astonishing territory is its condition. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services are incredibly rare. A coin that looks almost exactly as it did the moment it left the mint, bright, sharp, and untouched, can command prices far beyond its face value. For collectors, perfection is priceless, and even a tiny difference in grade can mean thousands of dollars. Some special 1973 coins from the San Francisco Mint were produced as proof coins. These proof quarters were made using specially polished dies and planchets, giving them a mirror-like background and frosted design details. Proof coins were originally intended for collectors, but even among them, only the most flawless examples gain legendary status in the coin collecting world. Stories sometimes circulate about certain rare quarters selling for enormous amounts at auctions. While not every 1973 quarter will reach such extraordinary prices, a rare specimen with exceptional quality or unusual features can surprise collectors with its value. This is why many people carefully examine their pocket change, hoping to discover a hidden gem that others have overlooked. Collectors also look closely at the tiny details of the coin. The sharpness of Washington's hair, the strength of the eagle's feathers, and the clarity of the lettering all play an important role in determining value. A coin that has avoided scratches, fading, and heavy circulation becomes far more desirable to serious numismatists. Over the decades, interest in rare American coins has grown dramatically. Auctions and private collectors have created a competitive market where unique coins can achieve remarkable prices. The thrill of possibly finding a valuable coin in an everyday collection keeps the excitement alive for hobbyists and investors alike. The fascination with the 1973 quarter also comes from the idea that valuable treasures can sometimes hide in plain sight. Many people once spent these coins without a second thought, unaware that certain rare examples might one day become prized collectibles. Today, collectors search through old coin rolls, inherited collections, and forgotten containers hoping to uncover a rare survivor. Because of this possibility, experts often advise people not to rush when they find an older coin. Careful inspection and professional grading can reveal details that dramatically change the coin's value. A coin that appears ordinary might actually possess rare characteristics that only specialists can identify. The dream of discovering a rare coin that could change someone's financial future adds another layer of excitement to coin collecting. While becoming an overnight billionaire from a single coin is extremely unlikely, the idea fuels curiosity and motivates collectors to keep searching. For those who own a 1973 quarter, the best approach is to store it safely and examine it carefully. If the coin looks unusually sharp, shiny, or different from others, it may be worth showing to a professional coin dealer or grading service. Proper evaluation can reveal whether the coin is simply common or a rare collectible worth far more than 25 cents. In the end, the 1973 Liberty Quarter is more than just a small piece of metal. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery, whether worth a few cents or potentially much more. Each coin carries a story from the past, reminding collectors that sometimes the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary possibilities. 1943 Liberty Jefferson Nickel is one that captures the imagination of coin collectors and treasure hunters around the world. In the middle of a turbulent time in history, when the world was consumed by the flames of the Second World War, the United States Mint produced a special version of the Jefferson 5-cent coin that would later become one of the most fascinating pieces in American coin collecting. This coin, known today as the 1943 Jefferson Nickel, carries not just monetary value, but a powerful historical legacy that continues to excite collectors who dream of discovering a hidden treasure in their pocket change. What makes the 1943 Jefferson Nickel so unique is its unusual composition. During World War II, nickel metal was urgently needed for military equipment and armor production. Because of this shortage, the United States decided to temporarily change the metal used in the 5-cent coin. Instead of the usual copper and nickel mixture, the coin was struck with a special alloy containing silver. This wartime adjustment created a coin that was very different from other nickels produced before and after that era, giving it a special place in the fascinating history of the United States Mint. The design of this historic coin features a portrait of America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, on the front side. His calm and thoughtful profile represents the ideals of liberty, independence, and the founding principles of the United States. On the reverse side appears his famous Virginia home, Monticello, a symbol of architecture, history, and leadership. These classic design elements were created by the talented sculptor Felix Schlag, whose artistic work made the Jefferson Nickel one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. Another remarkable feature of the 1943 Jefferson Nickel is the mint mark placement. For the first time in the history of this coin series, the mint mark was placed prominently above Monticello on the reverse side. Coins produced in Philadelphia carried the large P mint mark, while those struck in San Francisco carried the S mint mark. This small detail may seem simple, but to collectors is incredibly important because mint marks can significantly influence rarity and value. The presence of these marks instantly tells collectors that they are looking at a wartime silver nickel rather than an ordinary 5-cent coin. For many collectors, the excitement surrounding the 1943 Jefferson Nickel comes from the possibility of finding rare variations or exceptionally preserved examples. While millions of these coins were originally minted, only a small percentage have survived in pristine condition. Coins that still display sharp details, brilliant surfaces, and minimal work can attract serious attention from collectors and investors who are willing to pay impressive prices for quality pieces. Some rare specimens of the 1943 Jefferson Nickel have achieved astonishing values when sold at auctions. High-grade coins that appear almost untouched by circulation can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. The value becomes even greater when collectors discover unusual minting errors or special varieties that make a particular coin unique. These rare discoveries are what fuel the dream that a simple coin might one day turn into a life-changing treasure. The 1943 wartime nickels are often referred to as silver nickels because of their silver content. Each coin contains approximately 35% silver, which immediately makes it more valuable than a standard modern nickel. This silver composition also gives the coin a slightly different appearance, often showing a softer gray tone that experienced collectors can quickly recognize. Over time, this metal content has helped preserve the coin's desirability among numismatists. Another reason the 1943 Jefferson Nickel attracts attention is the fascinating story it tells about wartime America. Every coin minted during that period represents a moment when the nation adapted its currency to support the war effort. Collectors are not simply purchasing a coin. They are holding a piece of history that reflects sacrifice, innovation, and the determination of a country during one of the most challenging eras in modern history. For new collectors, discovering a 1943 Jefferson Nickel can feel like uncovering a hidden treasure. The thrill begins with checking the date, then searching for the large mint mark above Monticello, and finally examining the coin's condition. Even a circulated example can be a wonderful addition to a coin collection because of its historical significance and its connection to World War II. Condition plays a powerful role in determining the true market value of any collectible coin. A worn coin that has spent decades in circulation may only bring modest value, while an uncirculated specimen preserved in excellent condition can be worth significantly more. Professional coin grading services carefully evaluate factors such as luster, strike quality, and surface marks to determine the official grade of the coin. Collectors are also fascinated by the possibility of rare mint errors in wartime nickels. Occasionally, coins may display doubled letters, off-center strikes, or other unusual characteristics that occurred during the minting process. These errors can dramatically increase the desirability of a coin because they represent one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from millions of standard examples. The global community of coin enthusiasts continues to search for high-quality examples of the 1943 Jefferson Nickel. Auctions, coin shows, and private collections all play a role in bringing these pieces to the market. Every time one appears in exceptional condition, collectors eagerly compete for the opportunity to own it, pushing prices higher and keeping the legend of this wartime coin alive. Despite the stories of huge values, the real magic of the 1943 Jefferson Nickel lies in its combination of history, artistry, and rarity. It reminds collectors that even the smallest coin can carry an incredible story and surprising value. What once circulated as a simple 5-cent piece during wartime has now become a prized collectible admired by numismatists around the world. So if you ever come across a 1943 Jefferson Nickel tucked away in an old coin jar or hidden among spare change, take a moment to examine it carefully. That small piece of metal might represent a fascinating chapter of American history and can hold far more value than its original 5-cent face value. For collectors and dreamers alike, the possibility of discovering such a coin keeps the adventure of coin collecting alive. The story of a 1944 Liberty Jefferson Nickel is one that excites coin collectors and treasure hunters all around the world. This small 5-cent coin from the United States may look ordinary at first glance, but in the world of rare coin collecting, it can sometimes carry an unbelievable value. Many people have discovered that a simple coin resting quietly in a drawer, an old jar, or a forgotten collection can suddenly become a piece of history worth a fortune. For some lucky collectors, a rare example of the 1944 nickel has turned into a life-changing discovery. The coin belongs to the famous Jefferson Nickel series, a design that has been used in American currency since 1938. The front of the coin shows the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most important leaders in American history and the third president of the United States. On the back of the coin appears Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. This design gave the nickel its identity and made it one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. The 1944 nickel was created during a very unusual time in history, the years of World War II. Because nickel metal was needed for the war effort, the United States Mint changed the composition of the 5-cent coin. Instead of the usual nickel and copper mixture, the wartime coins were made from a special blend containing silver, copper, and manganese. This is why collectors often call them Silver War nickels, making them different from regular nickels. Another special detail about the 1944 Jefferson Nickel is its mint marks. Coins were produced in several U.S. mint facilities, including United States mint locations in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint marks P, D, and S appear above the building on the reverse side of the coin. These marks help collectors identify where each coin was produced and can play a big role in determining rarity and value. Among these coins, the 1944 P and 1944 S versions have attracted strong attention from collectors. While millions were produced, only a small number survived in nearly perfect condition. Coins that remain untouched, shiny, and free from damage are extremely desirable. In the coin collecting world, condition is everything, and a flawless example can be worth far more than a heavily circulated one. Some of the most valuable pieces are those graded in extremely high mint condition by professional grading companies. A perfectly preserved 1944 Jefferson Nickel can sell for thousands of dollars at auctions. Rare varieties, strong strike details, and exceptional preservation can make these coins even more valuable to serious collectors and investors who are always searching for the best examples. Another factor that can make a 1944 nickel extremely valuable is the presence of minting errors. Sometimes during production, a coin might receive a double strike, an off-center design, or a misprint. These mistakes are rare, and collectors often pay large amounts of money to own such unusual pieces. In some cases, a rare error coin can be worth far more than an ordinary version of the same year. The silver content of the 1944 nickel also adds to its attraction. Unlike most modern nickels, the wartime version contains a portion of real silver. While the silver amount itself is small, it still increases the coin's historical importance and collectible value. For many collectors, owning a Silver War nickel is like holding a tiny piece of wartime history in their hands. Sometimes people unknowingly spend these coins or leave them hidden in old piggy banks. Stories often appear about lucky individuals discovering rare coins among everyday change. While not every 1944 nickel will be worth a fortune, certain examples with excellent condition or special characteristics can surprise their owners with impressive value. Collectors carefully inspect these coins under magnification to study their details. The shine of the metal, the sharpness of Jefferson's portrait, and the clarity of the Monticello building all help determine whether the coin is ordinary or extraordinary. Even small differences can change a coin's value dramatically in the competitive collector's market. Auctions and coin shows have seen some outstanding 1944 nickels sell for remarkable prices. Enthusiasts from around the world compete to purchase the best preserved examples. These events show how powerful the demand for rare coins can be, especially when history, silver content, and excellent condition combine in a single collectible piece. Because of this potential value, many experts recommend that people carefully check old coins before spending them. A coin that appears simple could actually be a collectible treasure. For beginners, learning about mint marks, condition grades, and historical background can make the search for valuable coins even more exciting. The 1944 Liberty Jefferson nickel reminds us that history often hides in the smallest objects. Created during a time of global conflict and economic challenge, this little coin carries a story that reaches far beyond its 5-cent face value. It represents a unique period when even everyday money was shaped by world events. For collectors and dreamers alike, the possibility that a tiny coin could hold extraordinary value adds a sense of adventure to coin collecting. Whether worth a few dollars or thousands, the 1944 Jefferson nickel continues to capture the imagination of those who search for hidden treasures. And sometimes, a simple coin discovered at the right moment can truly feel like a life-changing find. The legendary 1936 Buffalo nickel is one of the most fascinating treasures in the world of rare coins. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 5-cent piece, but collectors know that certain versions of this historic coin can carry astonishing value. Minted during the golden era of American coinage, this small piece of metal holds stories of history, artistry, and hidden fortune. For many collectors, discovering one in an old collection or family drawer can feel like uncovering a forgotten treasure that could potentially change their financial future. This iconic coin belongs to the famous Buffalo Nickel series, a design admired across the globe for its powerful imagery and symbolism. The coin features a strong profile of a Native American on one side and a majestic American buffalo on the other, representing the spirit of the American frontier. The design was created by renowned American sculptor James Earl Fraser, whose artwork captured the rugged beauty of early America and turned this coin into one of the most beloved pieces ever minted. The 1936 issue of the Buffalo Nickel was produced in several mints across the United States, including United States Mint facilities in Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint. Each mint left a small identifying mark on the coin, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. These mint marks are extremely important to collectors because certain combinations of mint mark, condition, and rare variations can dramatically increase the coin's value. While millions of Buffalo nickels were originally produced in 1936, only a tiny fraction remain today in exceptional condition. Over decades of circulation, many coins were worn down, scratched, or lost. As a result, collectors now compete fiercely to obtain pristine examples. A well-preserved 1936 Buffalo nickel with sharp details, strong lettering, and minimal work can command impressive prices in a collector's market. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1936 Buffalo nickel is the existence of rare varieties. Among them, the legendary 1936D 3.5-legged Buffalo nickel has captured worldwide attention. Due to a polishing error at the mint, the Buffalo on the reverse appears to have only 3.5 legs. This unusual mistake turned an ordinary coin into one of the most famous rarities in American numismatics. Collectors and investors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for such rare varieties, especially when they appear in high grades. When certified and preserved in mint condition, certain examples of these rare Buffalo nickels have reached values that surprise even experienced collectors. Stories circulate in the coin community of pieces selling for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on rarity, demand, and condition. What makes the 1936 Buffalo nickel even more intriguing is a possibility that valuable examples might still be hiding in old collections, forgotten piggy banks, or inherited coin jars. Many people overlook these coins because they appear worn or ordinary. Yet experienced collectors know that sometimes the smallest detail, like a mint mark or a rare die variety, can transform a simple 5-cent coin into a highly prized collectible. The artistry of the Buffalo nickel also adds to its enduring appeal. The Native American portrait is believed to have been inspired by several real tribal leaders, giving the coin an authentic cultural depth. On the reverse side, the powerful buffalo symbolizes strength and the untamed spirit of the American West. This artistic masterpiece makes the coin not only valuable, but historically meaningful. Another factor that drives the value of the 1936 Buffalo nickel is grading. Professional grading organizations carefully examine coins for wear, luster, and detail. A coin graded in near-perfect condition can be dramatically more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. For collectors, discovering a well-preserved example is like finding a hidden jewel from the past. Rare coins often gain even more value as time passes, and Buffalo nickels are no exception. As collectors continue to search for the finest examples, the limited number of high-quality coins available in the market becomes even smaller. This scarcity fuels excitement and competition, pushing prices higher each year. Because of this growing demand, anyone who discovers a 1936 Buffalo nickel should take a moment to inspect it carefully. The presence of a mint mark, unusual design details, or exceptional preservation could indicate that the coin is far more valuable than its face value suggests. What looks like a simple 5-cent piece could actually be a small treasure waiting to be recognized. Collectors often describe the thrill of discovering a rare Buffalo nickel as a moment that feels almost magical. Imagine opening an old coin album or inherited box and finding a coin that collectors across the world are searching for. In rare cases, such discoveries have completely transformed someone's understanding of the value hidden in everyday objects. For this reason, experts always advise collectors and beginners alike to never rush into selling old coins without proper evaluation. A rare Buffalo nickel deserves careful study, professional grading, and comparison with known varieties. Taking the time to learn about these coins can reveal opportunities that many people miss. In the end, the 1936 Buffalo nickel is more than just a 5-cent coin. It is a symbol of history, artistry, and the excitement of discovery. While not every example will make someone a millionaire overnight, certain rare varieties and pristine specimens truly hold remarkable value. For collectors and treasure hunters alike, this humble coin remains a powerful reminder that sometimes extraordinary fortunes can be hidden in the smallest pieces of history. The legendary Buffalo nickel is one of the most admired coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Even decades after the original production ended, collectors around the world still search for rare pieces connected to this famous design. When people hear about a Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin connected with the year 1986, curiosity immediately rises because the classic Buffalo nickel was never officially minted in that year. That mystery alone creates excitement among collectors, since unusual dates, fantasy pieces, or special mint products can sometimes attract huge attention and extraordinary value. The original Buffalo nickel design was created by the talented American sculptor James Earl Fraser. His design captured the spirit of the American frontier, with a proud profile of a Native American on one side and a powerful American buffalo standing firmly on the reverse. Because of this bold imagery, the coin quickly became one of the most iconic coins in United States history. Even today, collectors feel a deep emotional connection when they hold a buffalo nickel, as if they're holding a small piece of America's wild frontier history. When collectors talk about a 1986 Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin, they're often referring to a rare reproduction, commemorative strike, fantasy issue, or sometimes a misunderstood coin that resembles the original buffalo design. Occasionally, private mints or commemorative series reproduce classic coin designs to celebrate American history. These pieces are not official circulation coins, but are produced in limited numbers or with special metal content. They can still become extremely valuable to collectors who appreciate the artistry and historical symbolism of the buffalo design. Another reason such a coin could gain massive value is the possibility of a mint error or experimental strike. Coin errors fascinate collectors because they are unexpected and unique. If a buffalo-style design were somehow struck in 1986 at a mint facility or through a special trial piece connected to the United States Mint, collectors would immediately view it as a historic anomaly. Rare errors have the power to transform an ordinary-looking coin into a treasure worth thousands or even millions of dollars in the right circumstances. Collectors also examine mint marks carefully when evaluating rare coins. Coins connected to famous mint facilities, such as Philadelphia Mint or San Francisco Mint, often carry the marks P or S. These small letters can dramatically influence a coin's value. A rare buffalo-style coin linked to these mints in an unusual year like 1986 would immediately raise questions among experts, making it the center of attention at coin shows and auctions. Condition is another powerful factor that can transform a coin into a fortune. Coins graded in pristine, near-perfect condition are extremely rare because most coins circulate and suffer wear over time. If a mysterious 1986 Buffalo-style nickel were discovered in flawless mint condition, the coin could become a sensation in the collecting world. Professional grading companies carefully examine every detail, including scratches, luster, strike quality, and preservation. The power of collector demand can also push prices to unimaginable levels. When two passionate collectors both desire the same rare coin, auctions can quickly escalate beyond expectations. History has shown that rare coins with fascinating stories often break records simply because collectors want to own something that almost no one else possesses. A mysterious 1986 Liberty Buffalo-style nickel would certainly carry that kind of legendary appeal. Another element that increases value is historical storytelling. Coins that carry an unusual narrative, perhaps discovered in an old collection, hidden in a forgotten coin jar, or found in a family heirloom box, immediately capture the imagination of collectors. If someone discovered a rare buffalo design coin with the date 1986, the story behind how it appeared would be just as valuable as the coin itself. Mystery adds magic to the collecting world. Many collectors believe that hidden treasures still exist in everyday change or old collections. Over the years, incredible discoveries have surprised the numismatic community. Rare coins have been found in estate sales, antique stores, and even pocket change. Because of these stories, collectors constantly examine coins carefully, hoping that one day they might discover a rare and valuable piece that others overlooked. The artistic beauty of the buffalo design also plays a huge role in its lasting popularity. The strong facial features of the Native American portrait and the majestic buffalo symbolize strength, heritage, and the spirit of early America. Even modern collectors who were born long after the original coin stopped circulating feel drawn to the design. That emotional attraction keeps the demand alive generation after generation. Precious metal content can also influence a coin's value. While most buffalo nickels were made from copper and nickel alloy, special commemorative versions or collector pieces may sometimes be produced using silver or other precious metals. If a buffalo-style coin from 1986 were struck in silver or another valuable metal, its worth could rise significantly beyond the face value of 5 cents. Collectors who believe they have discovered a rare coin should always seek professional authentication. Coin experts carefully study the weight, diameter, metal composition, and microscopic details of a coin to confirm its authenticity. If a rare 1986 Buffalo design coin were verified by experts, it could instantly become a highlight in the numismatic world and possibly attract international buyers. Stories of coins selling for extraordinary prices have inspired many collectors to search their own collections more carefully. While not every coin will make someone a millionaire overnight, the possibility of discovering something rare keeps the excitement alive. The dream of finding a hidden treasure is what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby for millions of people around the world. In the end, the legend of the Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin connected with the year 1986 represents the thrill of mystery, history, and discovery. Whether it is a rare commemorative piece, a fantasy strike, or an unusual collectible, the fascination surrounding the Buffalo design continues to inspire collectors everywhere. And for those who hold on to rare coins patiently, the right discovery at the right time truly has the power to change a person's fortune.